Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to shoot this really short video because I think there's some really interesting lessons for people to understand, generally about how a 3x4 matrix actually works and actually looks like, but also there's some recruiting and workload information on here that I think you'll find really useful, because this isn't all about theory. This is actually what is happening. Now, I came across this site 12 hours ago, probably less than 12 hours ago, and I sent out a few messages to some key people. And obviously, I woke up this morning to find that my team, if you like, had grown to 83 people. Now, yes, I'm pleased with that. You know, it's impressive. But the most important thing that I want to take you through this is how it has grown organically. And this is a 3x4 matrix, so it'll be 3 wide, and it will be however many levels deep. And there are two types of colours that you need to look at. The green colours are people that I have personally sponsored, so they've used my link directly and they've registered an interest with this company. So as you can see, I sponsored the first 3 people, which was great. And then as you can see with these green links here, is I then sponsored people because of the overspill factor that happens with a 3x4. I recruited people into my second level, which are, so for example, Bart here has got these people that I've sponsored as an overspill as his first level. And then within that, you can then also see that as the greens, people have continued to join my link, which is great. Now, overall, you can see that Timothy in the middle has effectively everybody that I've sponsored is under him, which was great for Timothy, because obviously he's woken up this morning to find that he's effectively qualified, or he's got levels 1 and 2 already pre-filled for him. Then you've got people on his level, so you've got Jan, Terry and Mike, who are also pretty pleased because they've also got people that have occupied their first level. So that is how overspill works. We then look at Wayne, and his first row of people includes Bernard, and as you would expect from Bernard, he's obviously got a little bit busy, and you can see all these reds here. Now those are reds that Bernard has brought into his team, and again there's a little bit more activity happening in Bernard's team. However, if you look at Bart's team, again Bart hasn't necessarily got to work yet. You know, I sent this information out when I guess he was asleep, but you can see that his team has grown pretty well with people that I've brought in. But now what's happening is that here you can see people are starting to bring in their own people, and so it will start to grow organically. And so that is how a forced 3 by whatever matrix actually works and looks like in principle. Now, the other interesting bit about this site is the leaderboard. So I'm going to click on this leaderboard, and there could be one or two lessons here that you would find really interesting. Okay, so this is the leaderboard, and I've ranked it by size of team. So you can see straight away these top 3 people. Now, I think it's safe to assume that these are the top 3 legs. So you remember that the company will probably be the number 1 spot. And then because it's a 3x4 matrix, these will be the 3 legs. And I think it's safe to assume that Sven has the left-hand leg, Dr. Mabuse has the middle leg, and Michael Tubansk, and I do apologise if I've pronounced that incorrectly, has the right-hand leg. Now, the interesting thing to point out here is that Dr. Mabuse has not recruited anybody personally, which is the self-advertised. So he's not recruited anybody, and he hasn't done any activity, and yet he's still got a team or a downline of 1,371 people. So that is one of the benefits of getting in very early. And then you have similar examples here. So you've got Werner and Daniel and Ralph, who also similarly have got huge legs that have been built, but they haven't done a lot of sponsoring themselves. And that is all about making sure that you get in good and early. Now, the other thing I want to also point out to you, and I'm going to click on self-advertised, and obviously this now ranks by the number of people that have been personally sponsored. So these are directs. So as you can see, Reinhard here clearly has a list because he's got 300 clicks and he's sponsored 132 people directly. Not sure how Thomas has managed to get those, but it might be part and parcel of the beta testing that's going on. But I want to point these things out to you, the people who've had to do some work. So Mark here has had to go through 1,200 people to bring in 100 people. So he's got a 1 in 10 strike rate, if you like. But look what here at Martin. Martin's had to go through nearly 4,000 people to get to 95. So you can see you can build, everybody can build a team. It's just how much of this you're prepared to go through and how much information you have to get out in order to have those people clicking on your links. And I can show you other examples here. So for example, Martin has had to go through over 1,100 people or 1,100 clicks to get his 66. Michael has had to go through nearly 4,000 again to get 64. So you can see it's how much you have to go through. And then there's me, and as you can see, I've got a small sample team that I sent some information out last night. So I've had 230 clicks and I've had 58 people sign up. So that's not a bad strike rate. It's probably about probably a shade under 20% strike rate, which is pretty good, you know. And again, there's another example here with Ray with a similar setup. But then you look at Roland, he's had to go through 2,200 to get to 51. So just think on that. It's about how much work you're prepared to go through to get to your directs. And then once you've got your team, because these people will be opting in, once you've got your team, you look after your team, and then they will obviously in time look after you. Things like this don't happen overnight, okay? You've got to build them gradually over time.